SRM Institute of Science and Technology. Learn, leap, and lead.
Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to join this webinar conducted jointly by the SRM Institute of Science and Technology and the Hindu on agri-tech revolution that we are seeing around the country and around the globe now. It's on this discussion will be primarily on the engineering and the future farming. It will highlight how these rapid technological advancements are reshaping our agriculture sector and creating innovative solutions for modern farming challenges. These challenges include unpredictable climate change, fluctuations in price, trade and tariff issues. All these issues have a technological solution that scientists have been advocating. So this discussion is part of the Future Career Conversations series that has helped a number of students in creating awareness. Students, not just students, and their parents too, about the academic and the professional opportunities that we have around us. So, as we know, agriculture is the largest employer of this country, with about 45% of our workforce above 15 years of age are engaged in agriculture. So it's the conventional wisdom of agriculture work has now changed, with agriculture increasingly adapting to smart tech technologies and see, we have seen how drone DDs have changed their social status by using drones in our farms. And also, this discussion of this webinar will explore the growing role of engineering, particularly the technological innovations in improving productivity, sustainability, and efficiency of our farming practices. So, to discuss this topic, we have an eminent team of panelists. So, I am very proud to introduce each of them with you. We have with us Dr. Devinder Dhingra. He's the principal scientist of process engineering in the Agriculture Engineering Division of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research (ICAR), based in New Delhi. He has been associated with the ICAR since 1993, and he has served as at the various institutes, major institutes, including the Central Institute of Post Harvest Engineering and Technology, Central Institute of Agriculture Engineering, ICAR's Indian Institute of Natural Resins and Gums, and now he's placed at the ICAR headquarters. His work focuses on post harvest engineering, grain shortage, food processing, food safety, and the reduction of post harvest losses. Every individual must be eager to know his works. So I welcome Dr. Thigra to this webinar. I'm sure his expertise he will share with us, though we have very limited time here. So now I welcome Ms. Purna Pushkala. She's an entrepreneur. She's a founding member of the Samunnati Group and is currently serving as the CEO of the Samunnati Foundation. Ms. Purna brings over 2 decades of leadership experience spanning human resources, corporate strategy, sustainability, branding, communications, and institutions building, uh, based on this agri and rural ecosystem. So, as CEO of Samunnati Foundation, she has provided strategic leadership for initiatives focused on strengthening farmer institutions, improving smallholder livelihood. I mean, as we know, the 90% of the country's farm based as smallholder farm base. And she has also been working to enable women-led rural entrepreneurship and advancing climate-resilient agriculture practices. Very important for almost entire where climate resilient agriculture is being discussed at a national level now. Her work centers on building scalable partnerships across corporates, development institutions, philanthropy, and ecosystem stakeholders to create long-term inclusive impact on rural communities. The other panel is for SRM community. There is no need for introduction of these well-known academics from our SRM community. I first welcome Dr. Linus Jesu Martin. He is the Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Technology at the SRM Institute. His works are based on the latest technological innovations that have a connect with the day-to-day lives of the people. This includes agriculture, food processing, storage. As a technocrat, I mean, as an academic who has deep interest and links with technology, he has been helping to evolve technologies that has a connect with the day-to-day life of a human being. So I'm sure that his valuable contributions will help us to understand the innovations with much clarity. So I welcome Dr. Linus to this discussion. Now let me introduce Dr. Jawaharlal M. He's the Dean of SRM College of Agriculture Science. He himself is a farmer and horticulture. Dr. Jawaharlal has helped hundreds of students during his illustrious career to find a connect between agriculture and technology. He has experience and expertise in pre-harvest and post-harvest management, use of data for agriculture, and technological methods to enhance production. I am sure that he will share some of his expertise with us during this brief seminar. And I am Jigish. My name is Jigish. I am a senior deputy editor with the Hindus National Bureau based in Delhi, and I cover agriculture, food, labor, and such policy issues for the newspaper. I once again welcome you all for this webinar. So let me begin with a question to Dr. Thingra. Dr. Thingra, as a reporter, I have visited several of your facilities, ICAR's facilities, that work on the most modern technologies that are available today globally. So the government has been talking about the idea of from lab to farm. So there have been even an attempt last year, if I remember correctly, where the minister himself traveled with the team of ICAR, I mean, experts to the villages of several states with the help of state agriculture universities, with the help of state agriculture departments, and on. He visited several states along with these, including the ICAR DG in that team. So, just wanted to understand. It's a general question: where does we stand in terms of the modern technology in agriculture? What is our countries? We have seen genome-edited rice varieties very recently released. There have been discussions about modern technologies, including drones and post-harvest technologies. So, where do we stand now? Can particularly to understand the students, if you can explain what is our position, the country's position in terms of agri-technology, agri-tech revolution, sir?
Thank you, Jigesh, and a very good morning to the organizers and welcome to the participants. As you have introduced, as you have asked, the science and technology has made tremendous insights into our agriculture and our production system. This is, I think, the one of the reasons that the introduction of scientific methods, engineering interventions in all aspects of agriculture, that today we are able to feed more than 1 million, 140 million population, and also we are exporting apart from few commodities. So if you look into, say, first of all, I will come with mechanization. If you come for mechanization, our seedbed preparation, sowing and planting of field crops, I think we are at the level of around 47% of it is mechanized. Even in the states of Punjab and Haryana, a lot of harvesting is also mechanized. So right now, from Madhya Pradesh to Punjab to Western UP, most of it is mechanized. Yes, mechanization and harvesting in, say, horticultural crops is still an issue, and the work is going on. But in case of field crops, a lot of mechanization has happened after the introduction of tractors, irrigation equipment. Now we have all kind of irrigation equipment. We have tractors, and along with tractors, we have the farm machinery. Initially, we had, say, plows, seed drills. Now we have precision equipment which can drill the seed to the proper depth, which can place the fertilizer at the proper right place. And then there are planters, then there are equipment for protection, sprayers. And now, as you said, that we have come with drones for spraying. Drones are being actively used for monitoring the crops as well as for spraying the pesticides or insecticides. In case of post-harvest, if you see grain storage in India, we have done tremendous amount of grain is stored by the government agencies, Food Corporation of India, CWC, and they are involving a lot of agricultural graduates. They're working for them. And at the farmers level, over 60 to 65% of the produce is stored by the farmers. Apart from that, in case of cold storage also, we have made tremendous improvements. Right now, you can see you can have year-round potatoes and some more crops which are available to the consumers. And even case of cold chain, we are also developing, and it is being introduced into the agricultural systems. Some of the things I would like to tell the students, especially I think they are the attendees, the rice you get in 1 kg pack or 5 kg pack, which is very clean. There is not a single grain, black grain. So these are done by color sorting machines, which involve cameras and computers. And these are there in our industry for the last 30 to 40 years. Now, some of our startups in association with ICR and state agriculture universities, they have made automatic grading and sorting equipment. These are already introduced in, say, kind of places like apple growing states, Himachal and Jammu and Kashmir, and apples as well as kinnus, oranges, are being sorted by these high-tech machines. And these are expensive, but these have become popular because they are fast and they are accurate compared to the human graders. So we can get quality material. They have also helped us in exporting our produce. So these are the kind of technologies. And then we have which are very common is we have satellites, we have field sensors, which are helping us in weather advisories. You can have it on your mobiles. You can get the weather advisories. And then the government had done through ICR, through state agriculture universities, through the Department of Agriculture in each state, the soil health, soil health cards were made, because soil health is very important. Water quality is very important. There are some issues which you may not be knowing. There are certain areas where the water is not good. Saline soils are saline, soils are sodic. So how to grow, produce in that, and how to improve that? And sometimes, in some cases, in saline soil, somewhere people have come up with fisheries, so they can grow fish and other products over there in such situation. So ICR, Government of India, State Agriculture Universities are trying to put in intensive science and technological inputs to see that each and every portion of our arable land and our river and water resources are being optimally used to grow food as well as allied products. Apart from that, you will see that livestock, ICR and State Agri, they have done a lot in vaccine development for livestock and fish, and that have helped us in keeping our livestock healthy. And that is why we are at the top in milk production. And it is also an allied occupancy for our farmers, where they can get cash very fast from the animal husbandry sector, from poultry, from fish. So these are all the sectors where science and technology has done a wonderful thing in making our country self-reliant in almost accepting one or two crops. So we are self-reliant and we are also exporting. Thank you. I think if
Thank
you
you.
have more, I can
Yes,
share some more.
we'll come back to you.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a very important aspect you have now started talking about. Let me go to Ms. Purna Pushkala. See, you are an entrepreneur. You are a job provider. So now, uh, Dr. Dhingra has talked about a number of aspects which may be unknown to students around us on technology and other innovations. So the periodic labor force surveys that come every month still shows agriculture as the largest employer in the country. But most of its low productivity, most of its jobs are of low productivity and kind of subsistence work. So, how can an engineering or an agri technology or a shift towards agriculture technology uh, can make this sector as from the last employer of the last resort to an employer of choice? People like you, a lot of people have uh, now youngsters particularly are with the best education. After receiving the best educations are going towards agriculture to make their living. So how to make this sector as the employer of choice for particularly for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics students? What is your?
So good morning, everyone. So I come from Samunnati. We work across the agri value chain, and we have been in the space for over a decade now. So I probably share the practitioner view. Dr. Dhingra has already covered all the areas where technology is playing a role. Over and above all of these, one fundamental shift that has happened in the last probably, in my own journey, what I have seen is in the last 5-6 years, especially post-COVID, is a lot of technology innovations that are happening where Jigesh, you just called out, now agriculture is not just about farm productivity. It has become a value chain activity, and the value chain actually starts with data science. It goes all the way until it's a circular economy now. And the areas that probably Dr. Dhingra didn't cover, which is very attractive for the youngsters today, is also how do we convert these agri mass, which is the bio waste, into energy. So there is a lot of work that's happening in the carbon space. There is a lot of work that's happening where we are looking at converting this biomass residue into energy by looking at compressed biogas, biofuels, making this as an input, and multiple decentralized energy systems, clubbing this with the power of solar. There is a lot. And if you look at all of these, there is one underlying element, which is innovation. And this agtech innovation predominantly comes from the engineering space. And there is one whole lot of area where we are still, you spoke about drudgery. That is because India has multiple agroclimatic zones. The same crop is not the same what is in Tamil Nadu. It is not the same way it behaves in, let's say, in Uttar Pradesh. So we need highly customized solutions. And likewise, hilly terrains are there vis-a-vis, there are plain lands. So today we don't have technologies that are customized for the agroclimatic zone or for the terrain, right? So a lot of the newer space that you were talking about, people who have, come out, they have gone into startup space, working on an innovation idea, and there are several post-harvest technologies that are now available in the market where, these are created by students, probably, with somebody with either 5 years experience, somebody who incubates this idea right when they are in the college using a hackathon or, working with an incubator. But what we have seen is increasingly they have taken up a problem and they have made it attractive for youth to get into agriculture today, because there is no value chain, there is no part of the value chain today that technology cannot influence or impact. Everything can today be driven by technology. Earlier we were only looking at technology complementing manual efforts. Now there are no laborers around, in many farmlands of India, because we are also fragmented and small landholding. The major problem is who will do all the manual work. So more and more need for innovation is coming from there, and which is what is going to make it relevant for the engineers and people to look at the space. And gone are the days where you have to come from an agriculture background to be able to unlock and solve this problem. If you have the passion, if you have the inclination to solve for a problem, and the innovation mindset is there, this space becomes attractive for everybody. So I think, we should not be now looking at agriculture only as farm productivity. We have to look at agriculture as a fundamental system that is required for all our existence, because food security is real, right? Climate changes are real. Sir has already spoken about all things around weather advisory, and tomorrow, as days go by, the future is going to be determined by, these proactive system alerts that are going to come. We cannot model anything basis the last 10 years or 15 years, because the last 2-3 years, the climate change has been so significant that our past work has become very, it is good model, but it may not be relevant to build a future. So it's going to be technology at every step of the way and across every part of the value chain, from input to, processing. Sir has already spoken about rice, and same thing applies for every other commodity. And then there is a whole lot of value addition space, right? Because agri today is it's not just agri, it's also agri, allied and food processing. There is a whole lot of value addition technology that is available. So when students look at it from a career perspective, I think they should go beyond farmlands, they should think beyond production, and they should think pre, post, and then the value addition, and then, comes a whole lot of global opportunities. So I probably pause here and
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So my next question is to Dr. Linus. As Ms. Purna pointed out, students need to have a systemic understanding of what is agriculture, what are its opportunities, and all. So now the talk of the town is multidisciplinary education. So be it BTech, MTech, or MS courses, so there is minor specialization to prepare students towards AI, robotics, remote sensing, and carbon markets in farming and agriculture practices. And several universities, including you, have these incubation centers to help students to materialize their ideas. So, as an experienced academic, what do you think is the biggest mindset gap in engineering students wanting to build for agriculture, and how can we fix it? Could you please tell us how these new innovations in the engineering and the technological fields can link with agriculture and farming practices?
So, good morning, aspiring students and parents. This is Dr. Linus, Dean of College of Engineering at SRMIST. So, the point is agriculture, which was initially at one point like agriculture is a standalone field, and engineering to some extent was supporting. But now it is not like that. It is not only for agriculture, for any field, it is now multidisciplinary. Say, for example, so the mechanical engineers are playing a very big role as far as the harvesters, the autonomous tractors, and other things are concerned. Likewise, different types of sensors are being used, electrical electronics engineers, AIML, IoT, and other things. And particularly when we talk about the multidisciplinary approach. So BTech, MTech, and MS programs in the modern scenario are mostly related to computer science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. And this is forming the base for smart agriculture. So without this, the smart agriculture will not be there. As per NEP 2020 also, you can have a mainstream course like a computer science with AI and a smart agriculture as a minor. So this is one area where the new educational system is moving towards. And as I pointed out, no engineering field is a standalone field now. And IoT, for example, it connects the entire system, even for the tractors, harvesters, or graders, or whatever it may be. IoT plays a big role. So the engineers who are coming out of the present institutions with a smart agriculture combo or a robotics and automation combo for agriculture will be very, very useful. And another thing is aeronautical and robotics. Now we are talking about drones. So drones play a very big role as far as the agriculture field is concerned. So say, for example, in our Baparayakanpete, where our agriculture college is located, we have computer science, electronics, and drone technology centers. This is a sharing of idea between the students of these courses. And if a student is doing computer science, they will be given some exposure to the agricultural field. And agricultural students working on the field are given exposure to IoT, AIML, and the drone technology. And we know that Sir was pointing out that sorting rice, sorting this thing with image processing technology. Now even crops, the diseases are identified with image processing technology with the help of AI. So this is how the present day technology is aligning towards agriculture. And when within a campus, if all these facilities are available, students can complement each other with the knowledge of one field into the other one. That's a big advantage of institutions like SRM Institute of Science.
Thank you, sir. Now let me come to Dr. Jawaharlal. Dr. Lena spoke about the new technological innovations that could help students of both technology stream and agriculture stream, so that they can help the society to ensure this application of this new technology. So another issue we have been talking about was this climate smart agriculture. Dr. Linus has spoken about drone services. So with this agri fintech booming, what areas do you think have the highest demand supply gap for skilled talent right now? As a person who has been working on both in agriculture and its linked to technology, what do you think? Where is the gap at the moment?
Thank you all. I am Professor Jawaharlal. Basically, I'm a horticulturist. So as I envisaged this, agriculture without engineering technology is not economical, and it's not an entrepreneur-oriented business. The agriculture should be shifted to business-oriented one. In that way, we have to infuse both agriculture as well as engineering technology. For example, the computer engineer is required for the creation of the precision and smart farming system. The IT engineer is required for data collection and analysis. The mechanical engineer is very much required for developing small tools, bigger tools for farm mechanization. And the post-harvest technology engineer is very much required for develop a lot of post-harvest technology and value addition. And the civil and the structural engineers are very much required for construction of greenhouses, irrigation systems, and soil conservation methodology and other things. Similarly, the aeronautic engineers is very much nowadays required for drone technology development. These are all very much linked with agriculture fusing with engineering technology. Here, today's agriculture is undergoing a major technological transformation, but only the biggest challenges in the technology adoption is processing faster than skilled workforce development. The demand supply gap for the talent is particularly visible in several engineering and agri-tech domains. The first one is precision farming and digital farming. We are already, the developed countries are started working on that. Of course, in India also we started working on that. And the lot of constraints, the fragmentation of land, and a shift has to be taken from farming system. From the farming system means because of the small holding, we need to work on collective farming system and introduce cooperative farming system, um, corporate farming system, and contract farming system. The contract farming system is very well introduced in agricultural rather than agriculture crops in horticulture crops, because the horticulture crops are low volume, high value crops. And here it is very well worked, and systematic production is very well taken. As Madam Purna pointed out, the effective supply chain management system has been developed in the high value crops. And the second thing, the technology is very much required. We all thinking about start producing the quality produce. For quality produce, we need to think about high-tech horticulture as well as in agriculture also. One of the important tool is slowly we have to shift to protected cultivation, where a lot of our young agri as well as the engineering graduates can be employed. And in a low volume, the high value crops can be produced, and they can very well generate income as a self-employment, or otherwise employment opportunities can be created. And in that way, already we started teaching the modern horticulture, particularly in the area of greenhouse technology, where we can, the high value crop, particularly we all know that already we proved in that cut flowers. Beyond our use, we started exporting flowers like rose towards Valentine's Day, and a lot of areas have been identified in India. Carnations, high-end liliums, other high-value flower crops have been started growing. Apart from that, recent past we entered into the exotic fruits like strawberry production, the quinoas, and other high-value fruits also. And again, in vegetables, the capsicums, all the hypermarket, supermarket is very well reaching. And the orchids we started producing, and the zucchini, a type of cucumber, we started producing in the protected cultivation, and the cherry tomatoes. All these crops are actually, we are very fastly moving. The thing is, we have to train our graduates. With the agriculture graduates should know about engineering technology. Vice versa, the engineering graduates should also know about the agriculture technologies. Then only they can jointly take these, agriculture as an entrepreneurship is possible. The technology is available. The thing is, we have to take the things practically into application.
Thank you, Dr. Jawaharlal. It is important that there should be training. It's not just for students, but also for farmers. So let me go back to Dr. Thingra. So you talked about data. So now people say that data is the new fertilizer. But our smallholder farmers have no access to this data or its management. So how can we build as a nation this low-cost, rugged Internet of Things sensor networks that work in Indian field conditions without reliable? We don't have much. There are issues of power connectivity and all. So another aspect that aligns with data is that how do we address this questions around data ownership, algorithmic bias, and crop advisory and drone surveillance in our farmlands. So on this question, what are your thoughts? And particularly when the government is promoting cooperative and collective agriculture to address the farm crisis, what is the role of data in this? What are your views, sir?
It's a very important question. Already there is a lot of data on farmers which is available. Apart from that, the government has also digitized the land data. So land parcels and what are the crops on, that is also digitized. So now the agencies which deal with the farmers, which are these agencies who are extending credit to the farmers, who are selling inputs to the farmers like fertilizers, chemicals, pesticides, and then the agencies or the traders who are buying the produce from the farmers. So all these, they need this data, what is being produced by a particular person, how much is the quantity, and what is the availability. So these people are utilizing this data to target the required customers. Like if they want to reach out to the farmers with a technology, the input supplier, if there is an input supplier who has some insecticides and pesticides, or a person who is offering machines from the customer hiring centers, or there are entrepreneurs who are offering drones to provide the service to the farmer. So they are trying to access this data. Apart from this data is also being used by the government in its initiative on Bharat Vistar. So people can check that Bharat Vistar. So it is a beginning. So initially it is giving information to the farmers on the government schemes. So it's a two-way communication where the government tries to find out what are the needs of the farmers, and then the schemes they are introduced, and the farmers can access the important information about the various schemes which are there for them, so that they can take that benefit. The other thing is that our farming community is growing old. The youngsters are not so experienced. So that kind of a wisdom, if the youngsters are going into farming, that wisdom is required. So now the package of practices are there, because this country is very vast, divided into different agroclimatic regions. The needs of the farmers in Punjab and Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu, they are growing different crops in different areas. So they are different. So area-wise, agroclimatic region-wise, crop-wise advisories through chatbots have been developed. So farmers can input their queries in their local language. So they're trying to use all these technologies of natural language processing, AI and data analytics. So even a farmer can put it in Hindi or Tamil or Kannada and then get a response in his language, in his or her language. The other thing where data is helping us in, what happens finally when the farmer produces, we provide the input, we give. If the farmer is unable to get remunerative price, the profit he is not making. So that is the right now the biggest challenge, that the farmer should get remunerative prices of their hard work, the labor they have put in, the soil and the fields they have used, the inputs they have put in their agriculture. If they don't get the price of their produce, remunerative price at the right time, then all this effort done goes waste and they will get discouraged. So FPOs and the government has tried. They have also, the government has created ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce, and there are agencies which are trying to help FPOs and other farmers. They can sell their produce directly to the consumers. Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee Acts, I think some modifications have been done so that they can, marketing of this produce becomes easier, and transportation and logistics can be handled very well. So if I have the proper production data, I can see that there is no glut and then there is a market demand. The produce can be routed to those areas. So that data and the availability of data related to farmers, as well as the soil, the water available, the electricity available, what kind of input suppliers are available. Just like now we are finding like Amazon and some other Indian grown companies, they are providing us we can order online and get our stuff done. So this data is also very important in, say, hiring the machines. Some startups have also started providing labor force, organizing the labor through these portals, so that people can access. If I am a farmer in a remote area and if I need farming help, So I can get. The another thing this data will help is in when we are putting science and technology into agriculture. If I buy something and if my machine is not working, if my motor is not working, I have to get it repaired. So repair and maintenance will be a big issue which can be solved using the data and using the trained manpower. So I will suggest that now the youngsters, they're trying to enter into thinking of making career. So there are certain opportunities which have been missed, right? So this is like providing machinery, providing repair and maintenance workshops, maybe the mobile vans they can have. They are in many of the communities. And now we have internet and connectivity. As a farmer, I can just put in my need that my motor has gone out of order, so someone can come and repair. So then this data, internet and everything, that's going to transform our agriculture in a big way. And there are many other things which our students, aspiring students, they miss. A lot of things are around testing and evaluation. Like food testing has in last 15 years, food testing has been uh, made mandatory by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and a lot of testing labs have come up. Testing for food safety, not for quality. Quality testing is another aspect. So there also this data and other things, they are very helpful in connecting the all the end users, right from the farmers, input suppliers, buyers, and then the people who are going to control the quality. And the data ownership, I am not an expert to talk on that. Yes, we would like that this data of the farmers that remains safe. It is not let out, and it shall not be misused against them. As long as it is being used for their benefit, it's okay. It shall not be used to harm the farmers or anyone involved in our overall agriculture landscape.
Yes, thank you. So Dr. Dhingra has talked about the importance of data. In one sense, it could be more important than agriculture than in the coming years. More important than the fertilizers for agriculture in the coming years. So now my question is to Ms. Purna. Ma'am, see, you are an employer as well. See, we hear that there are reports that the agri startups in the country are struggling to hire good skilled people. So, what roles as an employer now are you desperately looking for? And what these colleges like SRM can produce? Like, are they field engineers, drone pilots, agri data analysts, supply chain managers? So, what are the roles do you see to improve our agri technological infrastructure from the perspective of a startup you are now heading? And again, can these agri technologies create 1 crore high skill, high wage jobs in the coming 10 years? So, which all sectors can provide these jobs? Because our unemployment rate is stagnant, but it is a concern for the policymakers. So, can we provide more jobs in automation, processing, data, carbon, export? So, please share your thoughts on this.
So, first and foremost, to address your first question, I think I will talk generally about the jobs in this space than Samunnati as an employer, because our working model is we work across the value chain. So, for me, I would say, it is not just data. We also, there is a convergence between agri finance and agri technology and the core business. So there are a lot of linkages that is possible in terms of creation of jobs, right? But if we were to look at what does the field today need, they need people who can effectively translate technology into farming language, because today most of our technology requires a lot of hand holding and guidance for adoption. A lot of startups, while they are struggling to hire for innovative minds, maybe because people come with a very traditional orientation towards these problems, there is also a huge challenge in terms of, okay, I have come up with a technology, now this technology needs translation on the job, on the field. So now who is going to help bridge that link? So that is one very important role that the upcoming students can play. And this can become, a new layer of employment that can get created. Because today, if you were to look at it, somebody who understands the soil technology does not understand weather advisory. Somebody who understands weather advisory does not understand the post-harvest technology. But students today who are passing out, right, they can actually come with some 2-3 combination of skills so that they can replace multiple roles and actually offer a combined offering. And in India today, Samunati works extensively. We believe in the power of aggregation. So we extensively work with farmer collectives. And the registered number of FPCs alone are about 44,000 plus. Even if we say hypothetically only 50% of them are active and functioning, we are still talking about 22,000 FPOs that can actually, adopt these technologies, which means there is a huge demand. And agriculture is evaluated as a $1 trillion opportunity in India, which means, that is the kind of opportunities that can be created. But today, what is the major problem? The major problem is affordability, because technology is kind of coming up in smaller pockets, which becomes, difficult to scale. And there is a lot of manual data and, data quality issues that are there, which means, we are also talking about agriculture absorbing some of these, graduates and other diploma holders who can actually play a role and build the base for future systems. But can it create a 1 crore job? 1 crore job opportunities, yes. But 1 crore as a paycheck, if people are expecting, comparing it to, let's say, a very hyped software job, that is also possible in agriculture if we bring in a combination of carbon, sustainability, and future focused, because this will be a long-term game, right? And there are, multiple newer startups that have come up. There is a startup that is solving for the pollination problem, because as the country is growing, so there are very, very smaller pockets, very niche segments. And there are segments, like I keep saying, bioenergy. India has a larger mandate now. We have the net zero goal. There is a lot of aspiration. So energy professionals and engineering professionals need to come together to be able to solve for it. So agriculture is no more only looking at field engineers and drone specialists. We have to actually move beyond. But even drone specialists are not there today, right? So we have to start and address those basic problems while at the same time solve for the future. And there is a whole lot of job creation that is possible in, especially food security, wastage prevention, and post harvest. So I'm sure not just 1 crore, we can actually cater to a whole lot of unemployment problem if
Yes.
we solve it at their education level itself.
Yes. So proper planning would help agriculture to remain as the largest employer, but with more income generation and accommodating more educated people in its fold. Dr. Linus, so with that note, I would like to ask you a specific technological question. See, this climate resilience is now an engineering problem. So, could you tell us what are the 2 or 3 emerging technologies an academia can suggest to help small-holding farmers of, say, farmer of 2 to 3 acres, be it in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Punjab, or Kerala, to adapt to this erratic monsoons and heat stress and the depletion of groundwater level? In your notice, what are these 2, 3 emerging technologies that would help the Indian farmer to challenge these situations?
So the thing is, data analytics is a very big area in this thing. So predictive modeling. So there are several models available. So weather models and the satellite picture modeling, that is very, very important, because once if you have clear models for a particular season, particular region, then it will be very useful for the farmers to plan. So at times we are facing very serious problem, like towards the end of the harvest, there is a big change, which rain or something like that, which totally, destroys the entire crop. So the data analytics and cloud computing play a very big role with the predictive models and other things, and the satellite data available for the season for a particular region. So that is playing another very big role. monitoring systems, sustainable resource management. The benefits are climate resilience, sustainable production, reduced environmental impact, and other things. So these models are going to be very, very helpful for this computer science engineer with data science, data analytics, cloud computing, and that background with an agricultural knowledge combined together. He or she is going to be of great use for this type of activity.
Thank you, Dr. Linus. Now, Professor Jawaharlal, precision farming is a subject that is close to your heart. Though it is a technology that often saves on inputs, but the adoption it's very low throughout the country. Though, as Dr. Dhingra explained, there have been attempts by the governments and by the institutions, universities and ICAR to reach out to farmers and to tell them about this precision farming technology. So why it is the implementation is not as expected in our farms? And do we have to redesign this technology to ensure that it reaches our farm holds? What is your view on this? Sir, you're muted. Sir, you're muted. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. The precision farming is specifically for the mainly focused on the land use efficiency, labor use efficiency, and input use efficiency. And in the last 1 decade, we developed a lot of precision production technologies and which can be transferred to the farmers. The problem is the land fragmentation. The small holding is the big issue to take the things to the farmers. That's why recent past, the collective farming system is being introduced. Wherever it is being introduced, the technology, precision technology is reached the farmers. And the government also, for example, 10 years back, 2 districts have been identified in Tamil Nadu. One is Krishnagiri and the Dharmaburi districts. Both are actually extremely dry districts where the precision farming system have been introduced. And through that, quality produce have been produced and farmers produced, companies also produced, they created the brand names for their produce. And very good supply chain management was made through the officials, through the universities as well as through the state government officials. Here, the precision production technology, we need to train the farmers and also we used to call this ARIA, attracting and retaining youth in agriculture. We have to identify the youth into them. We have to give continuously training on taking the precision adoption of the precision farming technology from nursery to production technology to pest disease management and finally to the post-harvest technology to value addition. The production to consumption system is well to be set to the youth because as Dhingra said, the people involved in agriculture are aged people. They are not actually having the mindset to shift the traditional farming into the modern agriculture. So here we need to, already the government is through the KVKs, Krishi Vigyan Kendras, we are identifying the youth and the youth are being trained to take up the precision farming system and starting from soil testing to adoption of the technologies, it's being given. But as you said, the technology transfer is slow. The government as well as the institute should take to speed up the precision production technology for adoption. And the technology is already slowly we are, for each aspect from consumption to production to consumption, we develop. But the thing is, the adoption is being restricted and slowly, because the agriculture, the rate of growth when compared to any other, with a lot of challenges is being taken by the farmers and the youth also having hesitation. And we have to train. There are a lot of scope in precision, not only the whole system. There are different things can be given for as a training to the youth. Particularly, there is a big lack in quality seeds and planting material supply. We can train the youth to go for seed production as well as the planting material production, and they can start a small nursery and slowly they can grow and they can very well earn money. And second thing, as a community nursery, they can do it. And again, they can go for custom hiring system can be very well introduced to give the small equipment to the bigger equipment to the farmers, and they can use the equipments for each and every aspect to reduce the input cost as well as the labor use. And again, very well they can go for protected cultivation, as I said. Is very well it is possible. Even a person having half acre, 50 cent is enough to make a continuous production and to enhance their livelihood. These are all the area they can hire the land. Even if they don't have land, they can hire the land in the specific areas. Identification of the location is very important. If it is going in reverse, they will face a lot of problems. And again, input production. Now everywhere we are talking about natural farming or organic farming production, for which a lot of biological input production is coming up. We are giving training to our students to develop, produce the predators as well as the beneficial pathogens to control the harmful pathogens. The biological control agent production is a big area. It is being training is given. That area we have. It all includes in the precision farming and biofertilizer production. To reduce the chemical fertilizers, we have to introduce the biological fertilizers, and we have to give training. It's a team effort. It is it's an institutional effort we have to make by the institute combining with the government. Without government support, we cannot actually take the things forward. We have technologies. Lot of technologies we developed. The institute have developed ICR or state agriculture universities or institute like our SR. We have a lot of technologies. The thing is, there is a setback in transfer of technology. The transfer of technology, if go a free flow, definitely the precision farming system will be an effective one where we can reduce all the cost towards production. The big problem is the production cost is increasing. In all aspects, even the water is nowadays is a costly. So we have to use the right quantity of water. That is called smart agriculture, smart irrigation system, and fertigation system also we are introducing. And earlier, a single dose or double dose, basal application, and after that few days they will go for another application. Now we have standardized stage-wise application. Initial stage, how much nutrients should be given, how much water should be given. In the middle age, after 30 days or 40 days, if annual crop, what is the nutrition should be given? Before harvest, how should we stop the nutrients? After that, if we apply nutrients, the plant will not take. And the big problem is, as Purna said, lot of wastage. To avoid the post-harvest loss, a pre-harvest mechanism should be taken very well. For example, the identification of the matured fruit, even fruits and vegetables, is a problem. And the harvest index has to be identified. We have to train the farmers at what stage the fruits and vegetables to be harvested to avoid the post-harvest loss. The technology is available. The only thing it is taken, and slowly we are taking the things to the farmers, and the adoption level has to be increased in various levels. Now, the interesting thing, where the big to small, small to big, that is, the perennial crops like mango, big crops, we are reducing into a small one. And the land use efficiency, as I said, in 1 acre, normally in the traditional system, we used to go for 40 plants per acre. Now we are going for 500 plants per acre. And the pre-bearing period also got reduced. Instead of waiting for 5 years, we can, in 3 years, we can start harvesting fruits. For example, in crop like moringa, it was a perennial. Only 40 to 50 plants can be kept in 1 acre. Now 500 to 600 plants, and we can keep it for 3 years. And with a single plant, we can harvest nearly 300 to 400 fruits. And the economically, we can do, about the as a fresh fruit, as a value addition, everything is possible. And youth has come forward, and they are started doing these kind of things. But the rate of, the transformation is slow. Of course, in the near future, everything is possible, and the possible way of attracting the youth into agriculture is the only way, and to train them to adopt the precision farming technology.
Thank you, Dr. Jawaharlal. So everything is possible with proper backup from the governments and proper conveying of the academic lessons to the general public. So now let us take some of these questions from our participants. There's a question from Mr. Rajan Singh. He says, I mean, his question is about the post-harvest and storage losses. His point is that the waste caused by pest, moisture, and inadequate infrastructure cost approximately 1.53 lakh crore yearly. So, what do you think about this? If Dr. Dhingra can explain your views about
Oh
this.
yes, I think it's a very intelligent question by a very intelligent observation by the participant. In 2022, we estimated it as 1,52,000 crores, which is the post-harvest loss. So let me first clarify. There are two things. What is we call is food loss or post-harvest loss. It is the produce which starts from the farmers and comes up to the retailers. So this is the loss in that. It could be during storage, it could be during transportation. So these are the two major reasons. The problem is that why we are having so much, these are on the way down. The post-harvest losses are coming down, but still our production is increasing at a faster pace, but the infrastructure to handle that is not yet ready. Now we are coming up with good roads, trucks, logistics better, so improvements are happening. We have shifted from bag storage, we are slowly shifting to bulk storage of food grains, as I earlier told. Now, in case of food grains or pulses or oil seeds, our losses are not that high. We are like up to 5%. In fruits, in some fruits, it's up to 15%, but in others, it's less than that. So the situation is not very bad. The situation is on one way, we are happy that something is happening, that we are producing. That is why there are losses. But apart from these losses, I would like to tell the participants that a lot of food we are wasting. We are buying it, we are keeping it in our refrigerators, we are cooking it in our kitchens, and we are not eating it. It is going to the dustbin. And the food waste is also a lot, which is not yet recorded properly. We are trying to set up some study on this, and we are in touch with the government that we conduct some study through corporate social responsibility funds and others. But food wastage, if you look around when you're in the hostel, if you look around when you go to the restaurants, if you are eating, whatever you are buying, are you eating or are you wasting something leaving something in the plate? So through this webinar, I will request all the participants to watch where this loss is happening. Food waste, at least they can control. And the other thing is our farmers and all the labor force which is involved in handling the produce is not trained. We are also putting it that apart from infrastructure which is required, we also need to train our manpower which is involved. We always tell wherever we go that when we are handling fruits, vegetables, milk and meat, we treat it as like an infant. But our people, they will just throw it. They will throw the carrots, they will throw the potatoes, they will throw the bags of onions. We are not yet providing anything to carry. They're carrying it in most of our workforce is carrying it on our heads. They're not even providing wheelbarrows or some kind of equipment to lift that weight and load the trucks and unload the trucks. Whenever I'm in discussion with some of the Niti Aayog people also, that I tell that we have not yet, we're talking about this, but our fruit and vegetable markets, if you see the kind of technological interventions, we have not done much. And whenever it comes, we put all the onus on our farmers. Whenever I go to the meeting, I said, no, I don't want to put the onus on the farmers. The onus is on the people who are buying the produce, who are using the produce, who are making profit out of that. And let me tell all the participants that the farmer gets, say, only 10 to 15% and rest of the money. If I am buying something, some fruits in 100 rupees a kg, maybe the farmer only gets 15 to 20 rupees. And as Purna has told of the aggregation, I think that is going to change that a lot. When the farmers, they get aggregated, they can have their say, they can adopt the technology, and maybe the FPOs will be taking some steps to introduce some simple things like wheelbarrows or some tables or some push carts, so that whenever we are pushing and pulling this material, food stuff, we are handling it gently and carefully. And all these interventions are required. More storage spaces. We load the tomatoes in the truck like anything. We don't use crates. So the self-load will also be spoiling. When we talked to some of the entrepreneurs, they said, it doesn't matter me. I will be taking the tomatoes, taking it to the vegetable market. If some are lost, the supply will be less, the price will go up, I will make the money. But not bothering about the loss. And then another thing in fruits and vegetables is that proper harvesting. That Dr. Jawaharlal is also there as a horticulturist. What is the right time to harvest that produce? Whether we have the tools and equipment. Now we have given some tools and equipment, but training the farmers, that becomes individual farmers, that becomes a problem. But in horticulture in India, now there is aggregation. We used to call it clusters. So when there are clusters of farmers, so somewhere there is a cluster, people are cultivating onions. So the farmers and the labor force are trained on that. And then there are storage systems where onions are coming up. Similarly, there are areas where tomatoes are being cultivated. So we can introduce the technologies and we can train the manpower over there. What is the right time for harvesting the tomato? And then how to aggregate it, how to load it in the crates, and how to put it in the trucks and then transport it. So I think we need a lot of human intervention, trainings, capacity building, as well as establishment of new infrastructure, because new infrastructure costs money and no one wants to invest money. Some of the students, if they have the land, they can put up grain storage structures, they can put up cold storages, a lot of subsidies available, and then the government is ready to hire these facilities to store fruits and vegetables, grains, and other stuff. I think it's a good question and very important at the moment. Another point, I will take one more minute, is we are bringing a lot of produce, raw produce, to our kitchens. The processing level in India is less. So when the raw produce will travel a long distance, so some losses will be more. It is also depending on our food habits. If we have more of food processing in the rural catchments, and then the processed product where the shelf life increases is then transported to the end users or the consumers who are not producing, then to some extent we can also reduce these post-harvest losses. And sometimes these are inevitable because food commodities are live materials, they are respiring. As long as we are not providing them proper environment, some water loss, some physiological weight change, loss in weight will happen, and that is inevitable. We cannot do anything about it. It is very difficult to keep its quality.
Thank you, sir. So now, one participant, Mr. R.O. Sahni, has asked a question. Probably Dr. Jawaharlal can. He has partially explained that, but still, how is AI being applied in precision farming, especially in crop disease detection, and how can it help the environment? That is the question.
Sir, your mic is.
Yeah. Where is the question? Where is the question?
Yeah, how AI is being applied in precision farming, especially in crop disease detection, and how can it help?
Yeah, precision farming is inclusive of smart agriculture. Actually, the smart agriculture is use of IoTs in agriculture. Particularly, it is mainly used for smart irrigation. That is use of micro irrigation for the specific crops, as well as the sensor-based agriculture. Nowadays, the sensors are used for the prediction of the soil condition, soil moisture, and in advanced stage, sensors are used for the prediction of pest and disease movement also. So it is also used in the monitoring the weather forecasting and the livestock monitoring, and also use of the greenhouse automations. Precision farming is slightly now changing to the smart agriculture.
Digesh, I would like to add something on this. Disease identification.
Yes, please.
Under ICR, we have Indian Agricultural Statistical Research Institute in New Delhi. They have developed an Android app, AI Disc. It is available on Android Play Store, and there are plenty of these apps available. One more reliable one is Plantix. It is from Germany. It is by one of the input suppliers for control of diseases. So the farmers can take a picture, load the picture on this app, and the app takes this picture, analyzes it using certain machine vision models at the back end, and then gives the response. So the accuracy in some crops and some diseases, it has reached up to 90% level. In some, it may be less. But it is a good tool for the farmers to identify the diseases. And a lot of work is going on using computer vision.
Yes. Dr. Linus, here is a question for you from one of these participants, Shruti. She is asking, how can artificial intelligence reduce crop failure in small-scale farming?
How artificial intelligence will reduce
crop failure in small-scale farming.
The thing is, see, all these things are predictions. So they have models for everything. See, even the leaf, even the color of the leaf. The non diseased crops, and each and everything can be analyzed, and it can be quickly communicated to the farmer that there is a problem. Okay, so that is how the smart farming is helping. All these things are resulting in smart farming. So quickly this is conveyed, as Dr. Dinagar pointed out. So these are all communicated to the farmers immediately when there is a problem through apps or through other means. So immediately the farmer can act on that. So this is how it is done. The artificial intelligence is helping identification very fast. And drones can be used here for imaging. So that also helps.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. My last question will be from participant Vansh Goyal, who is asking, maybe Purna ma'am can attempt this. It's an interesting question. He's asking, we say that AI is replacing humans. And if that is the case, will there be as much space for humans to get high-paid jobs in agriculture with the AI intervening in agriculture? What is your view on this?
See, first and foremost, there's somebody who needs to develop these solutions, right? While AI is facilitating a lot of development, there is still a human-centered innovation that is required, because we can't just like that, come up with a solution in agriculture. Having said that, wherever, currently there is a lot of menial labor, the work that is happening, through humans, which can be replaced by machines, that is where I would say, AI is complementing. Just the previous question. Earlier, what used to happen, if there was a pest attack, the farmer will have to take the crop sample to the local KVK, then the KVK will give the diagnosis, they will give the prescription, and then they will take it to an input shop or somewhere, buy the, requisite chemicals or, whatever that is required, and then go back to the field. In all of this, they will lose about 5-7 days. What AI is trying to do is minimize that loss. AI is not replacing that activity. What it is doing is, it is trying to kind of, crunch the time and, reduce and make it more efficient and sustainable, so that, more can be done with limited time. But it is left to us humans to decide where we want AI to take over and where we want to kind of, use our intelligence effectively. Because today, what AI does not have, it is again modeling based on whatever is currently recorded, right? And in the space of agriculture, there's still a lot left to be done. So I would say this generation of graduating students, or students who are getting into campus, have nothing to fear in terms of, are there enough jobs? If, let's say, this generation creates enough and more technology solutions, the upcoming generations need to wonder as to, now am I just going to be deploying these, or where will the incremental innovation come from? But I'm sure we will have more problems to unlock by then. Yes. So I don't see there is any threat per se. But yes, like I said earlier, high-paying job is left to how I am going to utilize that innovation, how I am going to superimpose 3-4 things in the same place, so that, I can leverage both, the knowledge, and also diversify the income stream from the activity that is happening in agriculture.
Thank you. So, like you said, there are many challenges, but there are much more possibilities for the younger generation. Opportunities to address these issues and to be part of the progress of the society as a whole. So there are many more questions. There are 40 questions I can see here, but unfortunately, due to the paucity of time, we may not be able to take these questions at the moment. We will try and answer these questions separately, and will taking the inputs from our panelists. We will try to answer you as early as possible. And so now we will have to conclude this session. It was a very engaging conversation with the panelists here, and very valid questions were posed to them. So I, on behalf of the organizers, I thank Dr. Devendra Dhingra for participating in this discussion and giving his valuable inputs. I thank Ms. Purna Pushkala to get her time out of a busy schedule to attend this brief seminar. And I also thank Dr. Linus Jesu Martin and Dr. Jawaharlal M. Though they are part of our SRM community, they gave us the best of inputs on the social issues regarding agriculture, the challenges we are facing in this sector and all. And I thank all the participants once again. I thank all the viewers who has viewed this discussion in our social media platforms. Thank you everyone once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.